Hello everyone, how you doing, and welcome back to another video. Now, it has been around a month since the shitfest of TanaCon, and now we have another shitcon to add to the list. And I think at this point we should just admit to ourselves that 99% of YouTubers just fuck absolutely everything up, including myself as well. Now, a lot of you may not know what Fouseycon is. Well, it's actually just a YouTube convention hosted by a YouTuber called Fouseytube. And I don't necessarily claim to be the biggest fan of Fouseytube, and you know, I do actually have good reason for that. 2 years ago in 2016, he was one of the most hated men on the internet, arguably the most hated man on YouTube, after he was exposed for faking social experiments and faking pranks. Actors came out left, right and centre and basically claimed that his social experiments and his pranks weren't real and they were just false creations to make money and get views. And now, to be honest, I'm not exactly that bothered about fake pranks in 2018 because, to be honest, they're quite harmless. But the thing that really gets to me is the fake social experiments. That's what is extremely fucked up. Because there were social experiments in which he basically pretended that a child was homeless and people were just walking past him, not helping him out, despite clearly being in a state of misfortune. And you know what? It was just all fake. There was another social experiment of where he was pretending to jump off a bridge and a taxi driver got out and consoled him and convinced him not to jump. And that was also fake. And the thing is, with these social experiments, real or not real, they don't do anything other than ruin your day. It's not like I watch a Fouseytube social experiment and come away with that with my entire perception of humanity changed. No, that doesn't happen, because I come away from these social experiments when I think they're real in a shit mood, in a bad mood, because I think to myself, wow, everyone really is pretty fucking shit. I don't think I want to change the world. I don't think everyone is going to change the world now. I just think this has just ruined my day. So in an effort to sell fakeness and ruin people's days just to get views, subscribers, and money, that is one of the main reasons I do not like this man. And there are plenty of other reasons to why a lot of other people dislike him, but these are my main particular ones. But 2 years later, in 2018, Fouseytube has pretty much just dropped off the relevance ladder of YouTube. No one really was speaking about him, but in July, YouTubers such as PewDiePie are actually calling out Fouseytube.
But I keep thinking so many YouTubers should not have been YouTubers. Fousey is clearly not 100% in his head, and it's tough being a YouTuber, and I think a lot of people just aren't ready for it. Once you hit that high of getting subscribers, getting money, everyone loves you, you know, but it comes to a point for everyone where you just it just starts going down, and some people just can't accept that, and I think it drives people crazy. Fousey, I would encourage yourself to ask yourself, why do you want all these things?
And to be honest, PewDiePie is correct in saying this, and I said it in my last video as well. When people come into YouTube, they're usually in this sweet and innocent mindset that they just want to make videos, they just want to make content because they have a passion for it. But as certain creators gain popularity, gain subscribers, and gain views, they become more stretched from reality. They become increasingly ignorant, with people such as Zoella, Alfie Days, and even Fouseytube. And some YouTubers genuinely just need to stop. And in the whole Fouseycon situation that we're going to be discussing today, you just take the whole vibe that Fousey also is in the need of just stopping what he's doing, because he's just going way too far. But going straight into it, basically the host of Drama Alert, Keemstar, recorded an entire 3-part documentary about Fouseycon. It's basically quite similar to Shane Dawson's TanaCon documentary, and I am genuinely quite interested to see where Keemstar is going with his content. The entire documentary does shed some light on Fouseytube, and it pretty much shows that he is going for a manic episode, and even Keemstar believes that.
I personally think Fouseytube is going through a manic episode. I think he's a bit crazy, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's right.
So we do have to approach this entire situation with caution, but as I said in previous streams and previous videos, just because some people have mental health issues doesn't mean they're void from criticism. We should take into context people's mental health issues, but if they do fuck up, it doesn't mean we're not allowed to call them out because, you know, they have mental health issues. Of course, that would be a complete bullshit reason to not. Because I don't want to sound like a terrible human here, but if we basically give people these free passes, then they're just open to doing anything they want whatsoever. So we're just going to go straight into this and take a look at some of the best bits from Fouseycon and see why he just needs to stop what he's doing. And when I say he needs to stop what he's doing, I mean that somebody just needs to pull him aside and say, hey man, you're going a bit too far here. You're going a bit too deep. You just need to calm down and stop what you're doing because I'm worried it's going to affect you. That's all I mean. Because based on the clips in this documentary, it could genuinely lead to something quite catastrophic for Fouseytube. For example, his career possibly ending.
Declaring it right fucking now. YouTube's gonna stream this event. It's gonna be on the front page. It's gonna have over 1 million concurrent viewers.
Don't worry, next week, I'll be sitting with Ellen telling her how I pulled this off.
You have to have people commenting saying he's on drugs, he's crazy. Why are we gonna sit and wait for somebody else to do it? Why is there only one Kanye West?
Now this is a clip from the beginning of this entire situation, which I have spoken about before, in which Fouseytube interrupted Shane Dawson's interview on Adam22's podcast. And this podcast is where you can really see his delusion setting in, where he was saying that his podcast is going to be #1, have 350 million views, he's going to go on Ellen. You can really see that he's really pushing the boundaries in this podcast. And it's genuinely the moment I thought, and a lot of other people thought, including the people on the podcast, such as Shane Dawson and Adam22, that he's just going completely fucking overboard here. And Fouseytube is somebody that has compared himself to famous people in history such as Tupac, so I wasn't exactly shocked he's saying the sort of things he's saying, but it is still kind of weird in the way he expresses his mannerisms. And the level of delusion and ignorance he's portraying genuinely is kind of scary, because I struggle to believe that this is all one massive act. In previous videos, Fouseytube has gotten hate for basically acting and faking things, but even FaZe Banks sees in this situation that it doesn't seem like an act, and it genuinely does seem like he's going for a manic episode.
In dead ass, like they're recording this right now, it's like a documentary, whatever, he's doing a documentary. But I want to talk to you like person to person, because like a lot of the shit you're saying right now is actually shaking me the fuck up, because it's like crazy how similar it was to like, I don't know if you remember like when I had a meltdown on like social media. Straight up, I was manic, like straight manic, and like I had all these like aspirations to be like a philanthropist, and I dead ass felt like I was so in tune with the universe and so in tune with like what I was supposed to be fucking doing, and it was like in the weirdest way, it felt so good to feel crazy, to be crazy. It felt so like, I felt so smart. But for me, and I don't want this to scare you or deter you or whatever, but for me, it turned out to like just ultimately ruin my fucking life for like a good year. And I needed that. I spent 2 weeks in a mental hospital because of the shit I was doing. And I just went too deep, too deep.
Now, everything FaZe Banks says in this situation is absolutely spot on. Before the FouseyCon event even happened, before it was just in planning, FaZe Banks saw what was happening with Fouseytube, because it's happened to him in the past. It's happened to a lot of people. They think they're on this high level of just, in general, intelligence. They think they can fix the world, but in reality, they're just not in a good state of mind. Fousey has been saying that he wants to change the world, he wants to help absolutely everyone, he wants to become a philosopher, he wants to become a world famous speaker, and I just don't understand it. Saying that he's met people like Drake when he hasn't, none of it makes any sense. Like, it is quite entertaining and it is sometimes fun to laugh at, but it also is very scary to see somebody get to that height of fame and just come crashing down because his mind is warped. And when the event was scheduled to go ahead, it was cancelled because of a threat made against the event, and that of course is nothing to do with Fouseytube. That is not his problem. But the problem from the event is that he basically told everyone that world famous artists such as Drake and Kanye were going to it, and for some reason his fans actually believed that.
People who had gathered after leaving the theater were told to disperse. Many very disappointed. They were under the impression some big name artists would be taking the stage.
I'm actually from Chicago. I flew out here and expected to meet Drake.
Drake was supposed to be here, LeBron James was supposed to be here, J. Cole was supposed to be here, Lil Pump, Kanye West. There was a bunch of people that were supposed to be here.
Now, I don't exactly know what the fuck was going through some people's minds at this event, but why did some people actually believe that LeBron James was going to feature at a Fouseytube event? If I could use an example of high-level doubt, it would be that LeBron James, world famous sportsman, is going to turn up at a Fouseytube event. I doubt he even knows who fucking Fouseytube is. And the fact that some of Fouseytube's fans are turning up to the event because they believe that these world famous people are going to be there could genuinely blow up in Fouseytube's face, just like it did with Tana Mojo. Because him delusionally telling his impressionable audience that these famous people such as J. Cole, Kanye, LeBron James, Drake are all going to be at this event, well, they're actually all going to believe him for some strange reason. So a lot of these people have actually paid thousands of dollars to fly out to this event, pay for a hotel, just because they believe that Drake is going to be at this event, and so is Fouseytube, when in fact, Drake wasn't even contacted in the first place to go to the event. Yeah, Keemstar actually confirmed that he called up the people who you booked Drake with, and they basically said that, no, fuck no, we've never even had any contact with them, so I highly doubt that Drake even knows who Fouseytube is. So this is genuinely one of the reasons why this all could actually end Fouseytube's career, because bullshit and deception are not really two things that go hand in hand on YouTube. Eventually, manipulation and deceitfulness does actually get caught out on YouTube, and when it does, these YouTubers crash further and further.
This song is gonna be #1 on the charts within 24 hours. This song is gonna trend. This song is going to be talked about by celebrities, reacted to by every single YouTuber in the world. This song is going to break world stars. This song is going to trend #1 on YouTube and get 350 million views in a short period of time.
The thing is with delusional people, they don't necessarily like being challenged on their beliefs. They don't necessarily being liked proven wrong. And Keemstar and Fouseytube actually had a minor altercation where Keem pretty much called him out on some of the bullshit that Fousey's pulling off. And it really does just show how far away from normal reality Fouseytube is.
What was up with the Rice Gum diss track?
Keem, the reason I had a breakdown last night, I realized my song was coming out at midnight. And if my song came out at midnight, people were gonna think that it was a diss track towards Rice Gum and not understand the intention behind it, and it was gonna blow the whole event over.
But it was a diss track on Rice Gum.
There's a reason for it, and I'm gonna get to it.
Okay.
Keem, we're talking about changing the world and you're trying to find a narrative to make it seem like I'm hating on Rice Gum.
Dude, the song is a straight up diss track. Like, you're saying that,
Have you ever heard of irony? Have you ever heard of like something being told in a certain narrative?
The song is a Rice Gum diss track and he's disabled the likes and comments on the video, you know, because peace, love and positivity, people. Peace, love and positivity is the motto to go by when you're releasing a diss track. But the thing is, with this altercation, he just constantly denies that it is a diss track. Then he continues to lie to his audience even more and tries to prove to them that it has deep meaning, it has some form of level of meaning and is ironic. Well, let's listen to this meaningful song.
Rice ain't got no spirit, got no deeper layer. One ghost writer, one ghost Fortnite player, one ghost thinker, one ghost Twitter poster. Added up, that's a Rice Gum, stole everything in his life.
What he is saying in this song is basically that Rice Gum pays everyone to do things for him. Now that might be true, but it is a fucking diss track. It is. I'm sorry, but there is no way you can say this shit is ironic. Now, this is necessarily why I'm being quite harsh on Fouseytube, because this could actually all be one massive act, one massive load of bullshit just in a way so he can promote his music. You know when a tweet blows up because it's controversial or funny or something is just amazing about it, and in the replies the original tweeter just plugs his SoundCloud? That's pretty much what Fouseytube is doing, just on a major scale. He's either extremely deluded and is genuinely going through a severe manic episode, or he is just a complete manipulative asshole, just like he was in 2016. And it just shows that PewDiePie was absolutely right. There are some people that just aren't cut out for the pressures of YouTube. They just can't handle the top, so they just go off the fucking rails, and that is what Fousey is doing here. But Fouseytube actually did respond to PewDiePie. He responded, you know, with a good old motivational speech.
One day, you know how I talked about that perfect life? One day, I will be on a stage, or maybe I don't even get to the stage, but I will be in a position where I'm talking to people who were in the position that I was in for so many years, but I will be in a better position and I will be able to help and aid them to a better tomorrow. I truly believe
he wants
that.
to be a motivational speaker, a philosopher, somebody around the world that gets paid to give people advice and life motivation. How are you going to do that when you have such a massive history of pure manipulation and pure and utter bullshit? But the thing is, it continues to get even madder in the third part of Keemstar's documentary.
Because my words are going to be worth money one day. Because my books are going to be bought by millions. My tours are going to be worldwide. My speeches are going to be trending on TED Talk. They're going to translate my speeches in every single language across the country. I'm going to have money out the motherfucking ass. I'm not going to make 100 million, I'm not going to make $1 billion, I'm going to make $1 trillion.
I just want to remind you all guys for 1 second that the richest guy in the world, Jeff Bezos, the owner of Twitch and Amazon, has a net worth of 143 billion. Now Fouseytube is going to take that and times it by 10 because, you know, peace, love and positivity pays the bills. But motivational speaking, you can make trillions off it. But in reality, Fousey, how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that when all you're doing pretty much in this documentary is lying about meeting Floyd Mayweather, Drake, J. Cole? I don't understand where the trillions of dollars are coming in here. And he even went on in this documentary to claim that he's going to go to a J. Cole concert and come out on stage and give a speech. Now, I don't know about you, but can you just imagine at a concert with a crowd of around 50,000 people, they're all going mad because J. Cole's performing, and then suddenly the music just stops, the lights go dim, and then some man walks out. It is a philosopher, it is a motivational speaker. It is Fouseytube. No one is going to have an absolute fucking clue who he is. Even J. Cole probably doesn't know how the fuck he got there. They're probably just going to grab him, throw him out, and all get restraining orders on him. Because I genuinely can see that sort of situation coming from him, because he is that delusional and determined just to really be famous. Now, I might possibly be wrong in this situation. He may actually perform at a J. Cole concert. I highly fucking doubt it, but he might. He might. But what we do have confirmation of is that he definitely isn't sane, and I worked that out when he said this.
They think I'm crazy now. There are scenes of me in my bathrobe, walking around looking for energy, manifesting shit. I look like a madman.
So gathering from that clip, I think we have kind of worked out that Fouseytube really isn't in the right state of mind. And the thing is with being sane is you can still be extremely manipulative even when you aren't sane. Because throughout this, we've all kind of been ignoring the main picture that Fouseytube has actually been painting for himself. For example, we've ignored the fact that he's been basically lying to his entire audience about all these people coming. We've ignored the fact that he's been shouting at Keemstar just when he was asked some pretty regular questions. The whole time of the Fouseytube event, he wasn't there because it did start to go ahead and then it got cancelled, but he just wasn't there. So what's actually going on here? Manipulation is a common trait on YouTube, and Fouseytube himself is the king of manipulation on this platform. But then again, he could genuinely just be extremely delusional and not mean to be doing any of this. I highly doubt that though. As I said before, whether this is fake or whether it's real, somebody just needs to pull him aside and say, chill the fuck out, man. Just calm down and stop what you're doing because it's gonna blow up in your face. Because for all we know, his perception of his own reality could be that he's pretty much the new Gandhi. He could think he's this amazing motivational speaker that can have the skill to change people's lives. And that's genuinely quite scary when you think about it. And I understand this is extremely entertaining for a lot of people. It's entertaining for me because it is a good thing just to look at and laugh at. But in general, this could lead to the end of his career because what if this goes on for years and years? Fouseytube has been known for being a bullshitter and a liar for about 4 years now. So it's been continuing. It's been a process of where he bullshitted, he got exposed, went pretty much irrelevant for 2 years, and then he came back with this manic episode. What if this episode just goes on for another year or two? People will just get tired of it and be thinking it's an act, it's a delusion, it's bullshit, it's just not real. All I want to say is if he genuinely is suffering right now and is just fully going through this terrible, terrible state of time, then I really hope he gets help. I genuinely do. Like, despite of all the bullshit he's pulled off in his past, nobody deserves to go through that level of like hell pretty much. PewDiePie and FaceBanks were exactly right in what they said. He shouldn't be on YouTube if he is genuinely suffering. But in conclusion, I do genuinely believe that a lot of this is genuine manipulation. He has been lying. We can't excuse him of any of these things. And I think it could lead to the end of his career. Now, I would love to know your guys' thoughts on this video, on the situation in general, because it's so weird. It's so weird. I've not seen anything like this in a very long time on YouTube. So if you want to let me know your thoughts in the comment section, go ahead. And you can let me know your thoughts at Instagram, at iNabba, and you can let me know your thoughts at Twitter, at iNabbaTV. And don't forget to drop a like on this video. It genuinely does mean a lot to me. And before I go and end this video, I would like to thank my Patreons, as I always do. Big thanks to Anochi, Charmskull, Lily, Leslie, Cubes, Mary, Bugabadger, Dora, Amy, Ghost, Devon, Michelle, Speedybird, Mal, Uncle Tids, Nicky Dino, Sofa, Aurelia, Anna, Tristan, Lou, Henry, Cyber, Rochelle, Maya, Zombie Sets, Group Asteroid, Rock, Zero Files, Majestic, Rocks, Thunder, Cole. Thank you so much for playing to the Patreon. It is becoming more and more of a mouthful. I might have to, you know, pre-record it before I do it next time. But thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate you guys sitting through this whole thing, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.